2 videos on the channel plus a live stream? Is it your birthday? Probably not, but if it is, congratulations and sorry for the crappy gift. JJ and I wanted to try something new for the channel, so we're making pseudo news shows based off of comics and video games. JJ already started covering comics with a video he posted here, and I'll be covering gaming news and reviews. We shall call this the Gaming Dip News Show for your weekly dip into the gaming news. Here have been some of the highlights from this week. One of the biggest stories from this week circles around Xbox and its acquisition of Activision Blizzard. This week, Microsoft and the FTC have been at each other's throats during their hearings. Here are some of the highlights from this news. First, Elder Scrolls 6 won't be coming out for another 5+ years. Phil Spencer was asked if the game will be multi-platform, and he responded by stating, "As I said with Elder Scrolls 6, it's so far out it's hard to understand what the platforms will even be at this point. It's the same team that's finishing Starfield, which comes out this September, so we're talking about it being like 5+ years away." This is kind of astonishing coming from a game that was revealed 5 years ago during E3 2018, but it goes to show that Bethesda is really taking their time to create a game that is bug-free and glitch-free. However, it kind of devalues the reveal and gives more credence to the idea that Bethesda knew that Fallout 76 wouldn't meet consumer expectations. So they kind of dangled this shiny thing in front of them instead. Speaking of things coming out in the future, during the court hearings, it was revealed that the next generation of consoles will be lined up for reveals in 2028. It's funny to see a new console for Xbox, given that Phil Spencer is on the record for saying that Xbox has lost the console war. But it shows a commitment for the Xbox brand, and it gives developers kind of a good pick-me-up to know that Xbox is still planning to develop new and better hardware for them to develop on. Lastly, Xbox was looking to acquire Sega and Bungie at one point or another. Internal email suggested at one point Xbox wanted to once again acquire Bungie and take on Sega. It's notable for Microsoft to want Bungie again given their past relationship and the success of Destiny 2 and its live services. What's totally neat is the idea of Microsoft getting their hands on Sonic the Hedgehog, which might give them a foot in the door in the Asian market. However, given this may be surprising to some people, it completely lines up with what Sony and Microsoft have been doing for years, trying to build up a better roster of strong developers that they can latch onto, creating better franchises. If we're going to bring up Bungie, then oh boy, have they had a week this week. It's not surprising for many Destiny players to be upset with the game, given the bugs, crashes, server maintenances, and more. However, this week really shocked community members when content creator Astacross dropped his Microtransactions video on June 19th. While it's not surprising that Bungie has incorporated microtransactions into the game, what is shocking to many players after watching this video is the alarming rate at which Bungie has made the pricing and marketing feel anti-consumer. This video has also made waves outside of the Destiny community, with streamers like Asmongold commenting on the video. To me, this news is hard to swallow, but I know, and unfortunately, Bungie isn't going to do anything about it. Bungie has continually spoken on how it is time for them to market towards profits instead of players. It's one of the highlights they brought up in the GDC presentation all those years ago, and it was also the main reason Sony bought them in the first place. They want Bungie to be making live services more profitable for PlayStation. There have been many games that came out this week, some from the worst like the new Crash Bandicoot MOBA, and then there are some that are the best, like the Trepang Squared game. But the game that everybody's talking about this week is Final Fantasy XVI. It's currently sitting at 89% critic average and a 93% recommendation. On the high end, IGN scored the game a 9 out of 10, stating, "Featuring fast, reflex-driven, action-heavy combat, Final Fantasy XVI is certainly a departure from what fans may expect out of a Final Fantasy game, but its excellent story, characters, and world building are right up there with the best the series has to offer." While on the low end, we have the game creator giving the game a 4 out of 10, stating, "Final Fantasy XVI is a tremendously disappointing JRPG with a clunky, shallow narrative, unengaging characters, lifeless environments, and overly simplified combat. Its few redeeming qualities, namely its visuals and occasional intriguing story moments, are overshadowed by its plethora of flaws. Final Fantasy XVI is a hard game to recommend even to diehard fans of the franchise." For me, I don't know. because I don't own a PS5, but JJ does, and he has been enjoying the game. So much so that next week on Thursday, we're going to be streaming and talking about the game, so stay tuned for that. All I know, though, is that most players are enjoying the new combat systems, story, and visuals. I'm hyped to play this once the new PS6 comes out in 2028. For our final story this week, I wanted to look at the beautiful tribute the developers of Horizon Forbidden West made for Lance Reddick. If you don't know, sadly, actor Lance Reddick died earlier this year due to heart disease. Players have found that Guerrilla Games left a tribute to the late actor in the game to immortalize him forever. It's very touching and sweet to see the game developer take a moment to create something for a fantastic person and actor. That's it for weekly gaming news here on the Black Hudson channel. If you liked what you see, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. It means a lot to JJ and I. Also check out my last video game video on my thoughts on June releases, and check out JJ's video on comic book news. Don't forget, we also stream on Thursdays every week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.